Elaboration has to do with the fact of creating a broader picture of your knowledge, right? We tend to have knowledge in silos. So creating connection between these silos is very essential to be able to synthesize and analyze real-world problems. We want to prepare students to be able to go out in the real world and solve real problems.
You can think of elaboration when you're studying as kind of taking your studying to the next level. Even when you get a problem correct, you're asking why, or does this make sense? And we want you to do that with your homework while interacting with your homework.
This is the kind of thing that students do when you want them to make a connection between one thing they've learned and another thing they've learned or they're learning. And elaboration is really what you try to get them to do when they are making the connections between the comments or the ideas themselves. And elaboration is sort of taking something that you think you know and saying, well, if this is true, then this next thing must also be true. And it connects to this other thing that we learned about in another way.
I really like using elaboration for studying because it's really important for me to make connections to different classes and subjects. And it lets me get to know a lot more about the why rather than just memorizing definitions.
It really sort of helps them to connect that body of knowledge. I think it's socially constructed, so it happens in a social context, which I think is one of the reasons that we do so much in our classes to try to promote students interacting with each other and talking about ideas.
Elaboration helps you explain terms and things that you know, and then it also helps you, if you're talking to somebody that's also asking you questions, it helps you know what you know and what you don't know. Because if you can explain something really, really well as opposed to explaining something and the person's confused by what you're saying, then you can see that you need more help in that area.
One of the questions I would have, and I think it's a useful thing for a student to think about is am I aware that I'm elaborating, quote unquote? Am I aware that I'm sort of using these problem-solving techniques? And is it something that I feel comfortable with? And even if, for example, it doesn't feel comfortable, I think maybe that's in a way a good sign right now, because it means that you're engaging with the problem and finding at least you're in the area where the problem has to be solved in some way, even if it's not being solved. And at least for me, as a quote unquote someone who's trying to make my way in the world professionally in this way, those are the situations that you find every day anyway.